Happy birthday, Mom. I love you. I hope you have a great day. Have a wonderful day at work and a wonderful day when you get off. I love you. Bye. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to the best mom in the world. Happy birthday to you. Many more to come. I love you.
It's been more than 1 year and 6 months ago since Madison Re'nea Allen posted on her Facebook profile, spoke with her children or her mother on November 29th of 2023. Madison was looking forward to starting a new job. What really happened to Madison Re'nea Allen?
My name is Lynn Rollins. My oldest daughter, Madison Re'nea Allen, has been missing since November 2023 from Zachary, Louisiana. The last time that I spoke to my daughter on the phone was November the 15th, 2023. It was a normal conversation. My daughter never gave me any indication that anything was wrong. She was fine. She was just Madison. November the 26th, my daughter and I texted about Thanksgiving and told each other that we loved one another. November the 29th of 2023, I received a text message from who I thought was my daughter from a different number that was a cell phone that was given to her. My daughter told me that she was going to go back to school and that she was starting a new job. I had no reason not to believe that these texts was from my daughter, because why would anyone else be texting me portraying to be my daughter? That was the last time that I heard from my daughter or who I thought was my daughter. Christmas came. I didn't hear from Madison. I didn't worry because I had no reason to worry. I just thought Madison was busy with school and work. My birthday rolled around March the 1st. I didn't hear from Madison on my birthday, which was highly unusual for her because she has always called me on my birthday. If she was unable to get me, she would leave me a voicemail singing happy birthday to me. I always heard from my daughter on my birthday. The night of my birthday, which is March the 1st, 2024 this year, a friend request that I had sent to my daughter's new Facebook that was started in November of 2023 was accepted. I remember feeling relieved, thinking that my daughter's good. She accepted my friend request. She's just busy. I had no reason to think that someone else accepted my friend request but my daughter. The first week of April, I woke up from a dream 2 nights in a row with a heavy feeling that something has happened to my daughter. That week I began reaching out to my daughter's friends, excuse me, texting those that I knew that my daughter would stay in contact with. None of her friends have heard from her or seen her either. So I began messaging her friends on her new Facebook. I messaged every one of the friends on her Facebook. The ones that read the messages or was able to receive the messages would respond and say they hadn't heard from her. A couple people responded and told me the last time they had talked to her, and also sent me their last text messages. One individual in particular I messaged, which his name is Thomas Morris. This was my daughter's new boyfriend. I did not know at the time Thomas Morris was my daughter's new boyfriend. I knew that she was living in the home with someone, helping take care of his children. That's all I knew. When Thomas Morris responded to my text message, me asking about my daughter. You know, I stated that I was Madison's mother and that I was concerned and I hadn't heard from her, you know, something along those lines. But I made it very clear that I was Madison's mother. He told me that he'd been looking for her himself and that he couldn't find her, and that it was around that same time that he has not seen or heard from her as well, which was November the 29th, 2023. He never once told me that my daughter was living in his home. In between the time that I have messaged Madison's friends and finding out the address to where she was living, I reported my daughter missing. I reported her missing the first time, April the 18th, where we live, because that's where we live. I was told that I needed to go to Zachary, Louisiana to report my daughter missing because that's where my daughter was residing, was in Zachary, Louisiana at the time of her disappearance. We followed up with the individual whose home my daughter was living in. I was told, along with private investigators, that my daughter left on November the 29th, taking everything with her. The police reached out to this individual over the phone and was told that my daughter left November the 29th. 3 months later, Thomas Morris was brought in for questioning. He then stated my daughter left on he was brought in July. He then stated that my daughter left December the 1st, leaving everything behind, including her cell phone, his cell phone he'd given her to use, and a laptop that she had been using. These items were brought in to the sheriff's office or the police department and was returned to this individual without being sent off for forensics. My daughter was 32 years old the time she went missing. She was fun, loving, smart, beautiful. My daughter was beautiful. She has 3 children, 2 brothers and a sister, friends and cousins. Madison would help anyone that she could help. She would do without to help someone. My daughter had a big heart. And I know this because she's my daughter. I lost my home December of 2019 to a tornado. Lost everything I had, me and my youngest daughter. My oldest daughter, Madison, she gave me her Christmas money that she received as a gift to help me and her sister get what we needed. My daughter was taken. She did not vanish on her own. She was taken. She was taken from me, her children, her brother and sister, and all that love her. When I first reported my daughter missing, I had faith that the Zachary Police Department would help me find my daughter. I soon realized that I was living a nightmare of not only of having a daughter that was missing, but I was living a nightmare of constantly having to fight every day to prove that something happened to my daughter, that she just did not vanish on her own, that someone took her. My daughter would never disappear. My daughter would never not contact me. My daughter knows that she could call me and I would go get her wherever she was, no matter what, no questions asked. Yes, I would question her once she got in the car, but I would go pick her up from wherever she was, regardless of the situation. I feel as if my daughter's case fell between the cracks. Do I have reason to feel this way? Yes, I do. I have several reasons. Do I feel that my daughter's boyfriend, Thomas Morris, is responsible for her disappearance? Yes, I do. To believe that he is 100% responsible for my daughter's disappearance. He was the last known person who seen my daughter. He lied to me never admitted that my daughter was living in his home, changed his story. Since my daughter's disappearance, almost a year later, the same individual was arrested on strangulation charges to another girl that lived in his home. This same individual has stated to police that he meets women and picks them up at the racetracks, brings them home. The racetrack as in a service station, let me clarify that. He picks up women who are down on her luck. My daughter was down on her luck. She had totaled her car. She lost her apartment. She was living in a hotel, but she was trying to make it. This man opened the door and gave her an opportunity to come live in his home where he would provide for her and help her. My daughter took this man up on his offer. My daughter's not the only one. We have talked to another individual that's lived in the home as well. We've talked to another individual that stayed in the home as well. The lady that was living in Thomas Morris's home about a year after my daughter disappeared, which was the end of October of 2024, had Thomas Morris arrested on strangulation charges. At this time, the home was searched. My daughter had been missing a year. They did not search the home with cadaver dogs or the yard with cadaver dogs. I have little faith in Zachary Police Department because of the way my daughter's case was handled. Do I believe that my daughter's case was mishandled? Yes, I do. I have reason and I have supporting evidence of why I believe my daughter's case was mishandled. My daughter didn't fit the profile that Zachary Police Department needed to pursue my daughter's missing person case. My daughter was not perfect, but she was my daughter. She was a mother. She was a person. She was one of God's children, and she deserves to be searched for, and she deserves to be found. My daughter's case has went quiet for several months, but not by me. I keep my daughter's face out there, and I have prayed and prayed, and I have never lost faith. My faith has been tempted, but I have never lost faith. And just last week, my daughter's case was brought back to light thanks to Crime Stoppers and a phone call that I made to Crime Stoppers. My daughter's case has been back on the news. My daughter's case has been brought to light. Several people didn't even realize that my daughter was missing because it has not been on the news. It was not advertised that my daughter was missing from Zachary, Louisiana. Awareness needs to be made of missing people. Missing people cannot be found if no one knows that they're missing. My daughter was 32 years old when she went missing with 3 children. My daughter will make 34 this year.
This is the woman who makes the magic happen when you come home and you need her. That's my mom.
Before Madison disappeared, she said her mother, Lynn Rollins, is the woman who makes the magic happen when you come home and you need her. Miss Rollins needs the Zachary Police Department to make some magic happen and find out who texted out from her daughter's phone December 5th of 2023.
Can speak to whether what you have requested they do specifically to figure out what happened to her.
I wanted them to, I was hoping they would search the home when my daughter disappeared. They never searched the home. They didn't question neighbors. I know this because I've questioned, talked to neighbors myself. I just wanted them to look for my daughter, to take it seriously. And it was like, it was nothing to them. It was just a person that was missing that they didn't care about.
Yeah.
I have reached out to multiple agencies. I have contacted the state police, begging them to take my daughter's case. I have spoken in front of the city council in Zachary. I have emailed every member of the city council board and everyone I could think of at the Zachary Police Department. I have not been contacted by anyone from the Zachary Police Department.
Madison's mother expressed that she was not getting the support she believed she should have gotten from the Zachary Police Department, and neither was she getting anywhere with getting remotely close to figuring out what happened to her daughter when she reached out to the one man her daughter was staying with at the time of her disappearance.
First story we ever received was to a family friend that, my daughter took everything. No, my daughter left everything at his house. Mm-hmm. And then when we started questioning him, he said that she took everything. I have that in a Facebook message from him. We have it recorded in private investigators' documents that they have with an interview that stating that my daughter took everything. I'm sorry. And then when he went to his interview, finally, July the 12th, he told Detective Minor there that my daughter left everything. He went from she left everything, she took everything, to back to she left everything. And it's just, I really don't know what's going on, but something needs to happen. I don't know. I don't understand. My daughter's case has not been taken seriously since day one. And when I first realized something was going on with my daughter, I messaged all of her friends on Facebook because I was not aware who she was living with
at the time.
And yes, ma'am. Thomas Morris was one of those friends that I messaged asking about my daughter. He never once told me that my daughter was living in his home, just that he hasn't seen her and he'd been looking for himself. He never once mentioned that she was living in his home. We found out that she was living in his home through a text that she had sent, that my daughter had sent a friend of hers with the address where she was staying and identified his child in a picture. And it's just unreal, because I'm thinking if somebody's asking about their child, regardless of their age, if they was in your home, you tell them that they was in your home. So, right off the bat, I had reason to believe that Thomas Morris has something to do with my daughter's disappearance.
Okay. Now, I understand why you would feel that way, given from what I'm hearing, he wasn't forthcoming with telling you that your daughter that was in his home, living in his home, and it seems that he was vague in responding to you regarding his communication that he had with your daughter before or prior to her disappearance. And can you discuss what you were told regarding a possible connection a police officer allegedly has to Mr. Moore's family members?
Oh, yes, ma'am. My sister went with me to the Zachary Police Department. I was asked to come in to give a DNA sample. And so, I went to do my DNA sample, and I also brought the breast implant serial numbers with me. The sergeant there told me and my sister that his family has ties to Thomas Morris's family. So that's stuck in my mind too, because he made the comment that he handed the case off to another detective because they wasn't going to ask him for favors in this case. But it seems like to me favors is coming in from somewhere, because we're not getting answers.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And we did a little bit of digging and received some information. We found that to be a bit disturbing. We learned that Thomas has allegedly picked up other females and supplied those females with drugs. He has misused those females in various ways, and that is all allegedly. We do know about at least a documented case of abuse, given we learned about the domestic violence or domestic abuse strangulation charge he was charged with on October 23rd. Right. We also learned that a young woman, and just doing a lot of research, who mysteriously, we won't mention her name here, she mysteriously disappeared for several months. A lot of people were looking for her all over the state of Louisiana and outside of Louisiana. That we learned that there were connections, social media connections. We found that to be really odd between Thomas Morris himself and other family members, Mr. Moore's family members, to this young woman, very young woman, who had gone missing for several months.
Public records show Thomas Morris and his wife no longer own the Ash Street residence Madison disappeared from. It's uncertain what information or evidence can be obtained from the Ash Street home if a search warrant is executed on the home in the near future. What is certain is Mr. Morris knew Madison. Mr. Morris was connected to Madison on Facebook. What is certain is someone sent text messages out from a 225 number registered to a Thomas Allen Morris on Friday, December 1st of 2023 to one of Madison's friends. Missing Lost Traffic Investigations hasn't obtained any documented records of violent acts carried out by Mr. Morris on Madison Allen. However, the Louisiana man was booked on October 23rd of 2024 on a domestic abuse battery strangulation charge at the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison. Madison Re'nea Allen still hasn't been found. She was 32 years of age at the time of her disappearance. Madison stood 5 feet 2 inches and weighed approximately 115 pounds. She has tattoos on both wrists, angel wings on her back, rosary beads, and a baby footprint tattoo on her thigh. The Zachary Police Department and Capital Region Crime Stoppers are still working on the case. If you have any information that could help investigators, please call Crime Stoppers at 344-STOP or 344-7867. Thank you.
I love you with all my heart, and I'm so sorry. You know, I wish I could find you. I want you home. And if you're out there, please call me. You know, I'll come get you wherever you are. It's just, I want you home. We want you home.